It's not really about my results, but I would like to tell you how the method works. I learned a lot of energy practices, and mostly I worked with the beliefs. I work with my clients and with myself. I thought that method of Bronnikov doesn't work with the beliefs. I thought that it was a downside. For me, that was the way of working. I would find a belief of a person and start to work with this. And the situation will get better. What I discovered in the Bronnikov's method, I wanted to buy a house. I had certain beliefs that would prevent me to buy this. The situation wouldn't go on. I found these beliefs, I know them. For example, my financial restrictions. You probably all heard about it. So I went to the training of Vladimir Bronnikov, and I was able to build new beliefs in myself. I built up a new foundation in me. I was able to do it with lots of additional techniques. They would correct me here and there. For example, my girlfriend would call me and would invite me to some classes. She would offer me a free ticket to the classes of the psychological games. Therefore, these classes started to find myself. What I'm trying to say here, that it attracts the right things into your life. It's somehow building the foundation inside of you. It's clearing the path in between me and my goal. It's like a powerful stream. It sees the goal, and all the details are falling into place. That's what I feel about it. The rest of it is just a polishing. You just need to polish the process here and there. But the main path is building up energetically. And the Bronnikov's classes are a big help with that. For example, I like everything beautiful. I wrote down that I want a house in a beautiful place. In the end, I got a house in a beautiful place. There were no houses for sale. Nobody wants to leave this place. We have a free park down there, all nicely trimmed and took care of, with the gorgeous pine trees, with the beautiful filigree benches. People are coming over there for a wedding. People are getting photo sessions in there. So every word what I was writing down in my project became true and a reality. During this practice, I was interacting with my dead relatives. I mostly communicate with my mother's line. I only saw my father when I was a kid for a couple of times. I didn't have any relations to my father's line. But during the practice, I got the information that I have to repair my connections with my father's line. I only know where is his grave. I was there only once many years ago. There is no tombstone, no cross, no notes. On the very old forgotten cemetery. There are no trails. There is a big territory in a huge forest. It's hardly possible to find anything in there. My mom is better than me in the orientation in the space. She went over there about a year ago. She couldn't find his grave. And we don't have any other relatives who can show us his grave. Maybe they sold out his grave to someone else because the cemetery is very old. And after I worked with my ancestors, I decided to find my father's grave and maybe put some tombstone on it. I took my mom with me. She only knew where's the gate. We entered in there and she pointed at the direction. But I started to ask my ancestors how we practiced with Vladimir Bronnikov. There are my grandparents and my father. I talked to them in my mind, and I went where is my inner voice led me. And I came closer to some grave, and I felt it, that it's here. I called my mom. She came in from the other direction, and she confirmed that that's the place. My mom was very impressed by me, not even speaking about me. I felt like as I would get home. At first, I got a little bit scared, because it's weird to feel yourself at home at the cemetery. There are no very pleasant associations. And later on, I understood that I felt the connections to my ancestors. They used to love me at some point, when I was little. It was all so vivid. All my family is very impressed, because it was pretty much impossible to find a grave like that, because I would say I was never there. I want to add something else about my house. When I started to buy a house, I got involved into the process very deeply, and I stopped to practice at home. For about half a year, I didn't do any exercises, and I noticed that my health went back to the place where I used to be before I started to practice Bronnikov's method. That gave me an idea about the project what I wrote with him in the classes. That I made it happen while I had higher energy. The project came to the realization in the real life. As soon as I dropped the practice, I was no longer equal to my project energetically. I lost all my higher energy and all the benefits that came with that. I made sure that you gotta practice, you have to. At least a little bit, just to support, to sustain the energy that you already gained. Do something at least twice a week. So I came here to this workshop to repair my health. Because you gotta need the energy for all your projects, for your big goals. Without the energy, you're not gonna be able to realize anything. Bottom line, you gotta practice.